Hello again, and welcome to the Prince Magnum channel. I'm your host, Prince Magnum. Welcome to another edition of In Your Face. If you're new to the Prince Magnum channel, thank you again for clicking on this video. The first thing that you need to know up front is In Your Face is where I tackle subjects that oftentimes touch my daily life. From time to time, it's downright humiliating for some people, and from time to time, it hits below the belt for some people, and from time to time, it's just downright informative. Hopefully, in some cases, it's just an education, points out what needs to be pointed out, and at the end of it all, you all walk away a little bit smarter, and I feel like I have accomplished something. Before we get too deep into this, let me say up front, and this is my disclaimer, I love law enforcement. I love all of our police officers in general. Right here in the city of Bonne Terre, we have one of the finest possibly in the state of Missouri. I would go to bat any day of the week for any of those guys. And I will say up front that there are many police officers across St. Francis County that I would lay down my life for. One in particular is a young police officer for Farmington, and he's one of the finest young men I have ever met. Officer, you know who I'm talking about, and I hope you're watching. Recently, you all seen a video that I put up showing a Deloge police officer breaking the speed limit. And I tried to add in a little bit of humor, where basically I used my Build-A-Bear Ace, who's sitting right here, and basically it's like the ongoing joke is he thinks he's R. Lee Ermey from Full Metal Jacket. I tried to edit that in, and some people thought it was, they're like, about time someone says something, One of the people who actually encouraged this video was the same young police officer aforementioned. Once again, I won't mention the officer's name. I'd like to protect his anonymity. I will say that, when a police officer tells you need to post this, that no police officer is above the law, let me say that says something, okay? That's powerful to me. And I believe that many even here in Bonne Terre would even say that it needed to be posted. That being said, let me say up front, again, I love law enforcement. At one point in time, I almost became a detective myself. Was toying with the idea, I should say. Even made inquiries on how much it would cost and everything else. All right, now that we've gotten that disclaimer out of the way. This day and age, people are worried about how do they deal with corrupt police officers. Well, I won't say that this next clip has a corrupt police officer, but what he was doing was unscrupulous. Okay, it was dishonest. I'm going to show you the clip. We're going to throw in a little bit of humor, and then we're going to talk about
it. Jesus H. Christ. You goddamn communist heathen! I bet you're the kind of guy that would fuck a person in the ass and not even have the goddamn common courtesy to give him a reach around. Do you suck dicks? You owe me for one jelly donut! I'll be watching you.
Some of you are going, I bet you were peeing down both legs. No, I wasn't. The same camera that caught it is the same camera I'm using right now, the Spirit Cam. This day and age, I think it's safe to say that more and more U.S. citizens are being put in the position that citizens in Russia are being put into. Russian citizens have basically the dash cams are in high demand in Russia because some of the police officers have been doing unscrupulous things. And in order for the general populace to protect themselves, they started buying dash cams. So, to you, the viewer of this video, I'm going to suggest you do the same. Now, I know this day and age, we're all strapped for cash, okay? The Spirit Cam actually cost me about $20 after tax. It's just a Pilot dash cam that you can buy at Walmart. It comes with a micro card and basically a couple different ways to keep the charge going. Without a charge, with anything hooked to it, the Spirit Cam is good for 15 minutes, provided you don't do anything crazy with it. But it's good for 15 minutes without power. It's good for up to an hour's worth of footage, and definitely a good camera. You can even put it on different resolutions. That being said, maybe that's still too much money for you. Maybe that's just not in your budget. I know it's hard. Our economy is still in the gutter. So let me show you another option. Most of us have these today. And smartphones are actually as common nowadays as a t-shirt, okay? Everybody has at least one. In some cases, they have several. So definitely, this could be a serious deterrent. If you could figure out a way to mount it to your dash, you're in business. But even if you're pulled over by a possible dishonest police officer, turn it on. Okay, even if you only turn on the voice recorder, this is admissible as evidence. Okay, and that officer has no right to touch this. This is your personal property. Okay, he can't subpoena it in court. A district attorney can't subpoena it in court, but it's just going to show exactly what needs to be shown. So, that being said, turn on your cameras. Catch what needs to be catched. Okay, protect yourselves. Okay. Then you won't get any of the riots, because if you can actually, show the police officer doing wrong, the charges will be dropped. And if you can get it to the right media outlet, which is difficult nowadays, you have to go to alternate media. They can then publicize it. This officer is now in question and has to resign his position with that police department. He can then move on to something bigger and better, like what happened here in Bonne Terre. And when that happens, you take a police officer who's potentially dangerous to society off the street, and you put him in a job he's better suited for. It happens. And when that happens, there's less violence, and you can clean up your streets. Something to think about. It's a non-violent reaction to a seriously growing problem. Again, I wasn't worried because I had the Spirit Cam, and I was able to, because of the way it's mounted to Spirit's windshield, I was able to turn it around and catch this officer tailgating. Basically what he was trying to do is he was trying to get me scared enough I would make a mistake and he could pull me over. When I didn't, he stayed on me, continuing this. When he seen the camera come on, you could see that he backed off a little bit, and you could see that he got nervous. He was being filmed, and he knew if that was the case that anything he did was basically going to be thrown out of a courtroom and could end up on YouTube. It did anyways, officer. Let this be a solid lesson. Tactics like this are not permitted in the state of Missouri. There are reasons why those laws are in place, and you broke one of them. I hope the sheriff understands and puts you in a better position in the department, or at least starts helping you try to find a job better suited for you other than law enforcement. No disrespect, but that was wrong. Don't try that again with me, because I always have the Spirit Cam on me. I'm always looking for that next shot to educate people, and now you got to be the brunt of it. I'm sorry it had to be that way. I hope you understand. Let this be a good lesson to you. Okay? Also, as a reminder, I've had many police officers say that they would rather that they be outfitted with the personal cams, because of the simple fact that when you do this, they're less likely to have, those allegations that they were bad police officers brought to light too. So cameras are becoming more and more popular because of the issues that we have. So, I guess you could say, in celebration of our First Amendment, start using them, folks. Start using them. Protect yourselves. Don't end up like I did 4 years ago, where I couldn't defend myself in a courtroom and was wrongfully accused of a crime I didn't commit. Yes, Detective Steve Sykes, I've not forgotten you. That brings us to the end of this episode of In Your Face. As always, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It helps us out immensely. If you'd like to see more of my Build-A-Bear ace, leave a comment below. No hate, though. That automatically gets deleted. And as always, get out there and work on a project. If you have a sweetheart, sweep them off their feet. And above all, that nobody has told you that they love you today. Prince Magnum does. God bless you, and have a happy 24. Thank you.